Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. And let me introduce myself. If you've never seen me before, my name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. And when you come on, please comment and say hello and maybe where you're watching me from. Okay, so I'm going to just give a moment for everybody to get here. Today is not my normal day. I'm doing a Wednesday instead of a Monday, and it is Wednesday, February 26, 2025. But next week, I should be back right on schedule again. I'll be doing Monday, and I think that's going to be in March. So it'll be March 3rd at 10:30 Central Time. So let me just give a moment here and then we'll get started with our housekeeping notes. But let me go ahead and turn my camera over to my table view so we can. I clicked on the wrong button there. So that you can see what I'm talking about. We've got a few things we need to go over before we get started. Okay, so like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie. And I want to welcome you here today. And let me bring a few banners up here so you can see. Okay, Creating Cards with Debbie. And you can shop my products that I'm showing today or any crafting products that you might need from Stampin' Up! It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. It is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And if your order is under $150, use the February 2025 host code, which is also scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And it is C like in cat, 4, V like Victor, S like Sam, K like kangaroo, P like pie, S like Sam, and then E like elephant. So use that host code if your order is under $150. And we've only got a few days left of February, so we'll be changing the code here for next week. But until then, this code will work. And if you want to email me, you can reach me at creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. And that's also in the description of the video today. So let me set those aside and we'll get on with our other notes here. Okay, Paper Pumpkin for the month of March is called Daisy Daydream. And you've got until March 10th to sign up for this kit. And let me bring my comments back up here. Oopsie, what did I do? Okay. Okay, like I said, the March kit is Daisy Daydream, and you've got until March 10th to sign up for this kit. And what it is, it says, send sweet greetings with gorgeous cards featuring bees, honeycomb, and daisies. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes, specialty gold foil, and pre-cut vellum accents, unique pre-cut paper pieces, and the Stampin' Spot that you'll get with this one is going to be the Lost Lagoon. And the kit also comes in a beautiful box with a free additional stamp set, so you'll get 2 stamp sets instead of just one. And look how pretty the box is. I know the camera isn't doing it justice here. And to go along with that, you can add on the dies that coordinated with the January, February, March Paper Pumpkin kit. And to get those, all you got to be is just a subscriber. Subscribe to this kit, and you can order the dies to go along with it. And the dies are called Spring is in the Air. And the item number is 166237. And that's $12 for the dies. But you get all these dies. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dies with it. So those are really cute. All right, and don't forget about our new online exclusives that have been added. And here's a sneak peek. It says shop our full selection of crafting products in our online store. So you just go into my store, which is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and you'll click on the online exclusives tab on the left side, and it'll bring up all the online exclusives that are available right now. So we've got black and white paper, which is called Botanical Textures, and those are 12 by 12. And then we've also got some designer series paper that looks like Woven Textures, it's called. And the camera's not picking it up real well. And the stamp set bundle is Textured Notes Bundle. And then we've got some neutral matte dots and a mini corrugated 3D embossing folder and some white ribbon. So that's just a few things that you can add on to your order. And don't forget, we've got Celebration going on yet. And I want to remind you, you've got until February 28th to take advantage of the new sign-up kit that you can get. What it is, you'll pay $99 for the kit with free shipping, and you build your kit with $125 worth of products of your choosing. And with option 1, you can add on 2 marker sets, which come from the Brights, Neutrals, Regals, Subtles, and then a beautiful handmade designs stamp set that goes along with that. So that would be an additional $91 worth. So with that, it brings it to, I've got the total here. Well, no, I didn't. It's like over $200 worth of products for only $99. And if you don't want option 1, you can choose option 2, which is your choice of an additional $30 in free products, which would bring your total of products up to $155. But the option 1 is really a good option to pick. I would pick that one, but either one is good. And I would love to have you on my team. And if you don't want to do what I do, you can just get your starter kit for just getting your discount on your crafting needs. Okay, so I got the total here. It was $216 worth of products with that first option. And there's more they've added to Celebration. There's a flyer here. They should come up when you put your order in. With every $60, you get to pick a free item. And I showed the Celebration houseplant kit on Monday on my my live, so you might want to go back and watch that again. But you can receive the Happy Houseplants kit and for free, and all these other items. I know the Alphabet a la mode, those are not available right now, but I think everything else is still available. So you might want to take advantage of that. Celebration is a good time of the year because we get free products, so that's always fun. Who doesn't like free? Okay, so I think we've got all of that done. So we're going to go on with our projects then. Let me just clear my area here a little bit so I can have space to work. All right. Like I said in my description, I'm going to be using the Meant to Be bundle. Let me get rid of some of these. Make some room on my screen so you can see me. It's the Meant to Be bundle. And let me get the dies out for that. And I love the dies. We've got all these little frames. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ones, 5 sizes, plus some word dies. It says Our Hive. It's got the detailed and then it's got the shadow cut out. So lots of fun. Meant to Be is what it's called. And these are in the online exclusives. You'll find them there. All right, so let's bring our cards out here and let's get started. Be sure you like and share the video. It brings me more viewers, and that helps my analytics, I guess is what they call it. All right, so this one says, "You're as sweet as honey." And on the inside, we've got, "You are remarkable in every single way." And the sentiment on the inside, I brought that one from the "You Are Remarkable" stamp set. And this is an online exclusive also. All right, so let's get our bits and pieces out here and let's get started. I try to do a lot of the prep work ahead of time to save a little time, so hope this goes smoothly today. And if you don't have time to watch me the whole thing, you can always come back and catch the replay later on. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is going to be our bubble bath. And this measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. I got some tape on there. And I'm going to use my bone folder to score that. And we're going to be going portrait style. And then I've got our basic white we're going to use for our mat. And that measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then our designer series paper, which I need to bring out our paper here and show you. I made a chart up ahead of time to show our paper, so I don't have to bring the whole pack out here. So this is called Cute as Can Be. It's a 12 by 12 designer series paper. And this is also in the online exclusives. So we're using this pattern here, and this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And the back of it is really cute too. Lots of cute patterns in this paper. It's hard to decide which side to use. You hate covering up the cute sides. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attach that to our basic white. Using my adhesive of choice is my Tombow glue, but any adhesive would work, whatever you prefer. I feel like my stomach's going to start growling. I did have my oatmeal this morning, but maybe it wasn't enough. You'll have to wait till lunch now. All right, let me get my edges even here. All right, let me go ahead and attach that to our card front. Be finished with that part of it. Hope everybody's having a good day. Arkansas here is finally warmed up some. I think we were 70 something yesterday, and it's supposed to be about the same today. So hopefully I can get outside and enjoy some of it today. Oh, good morning, Amber. No, there's no word on the Stamparatus coming back yet. I wish they would too, because I miss using mine. I don't like to use stuff on my videos that you can't purchase. So, all right, get back to my card. So here's our card so far. And we're going to add some more layers here. I've got our Petunia Pop cardstock, and that's 2 3/4 inches by 4 inches. And then I've got another basic white that's 2 1/2 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And that's going to be matted right on top of that Petunia Pop. But I'm going to do my stamping on there first. So we're going to just set this aside, and we're going to work on this first. And we're going to bring our little swirly for the bee. And I'm going to put that up here in this upper corner. But I think I better stamp my bee first so we know exactly where to put it. So we're going to wait on this one for a minute. And we're going to stamp our bee. And I'm using both of these. Now you can't see them there. Using this one and this one. And then we'll use the large wings. I'm going to bring in my Black Memento and my Daffodil Delight for the body. So I'm going to start out with the stripes first. So it's going to be the Black Memento. And here's my scrap of cardstock. And ink that up with our black. And I didn't mute my phone. And I'm going to stamp that off to the right side here. And with that, our Daffodil Delight. And when you have a solid stamp, sometimes it's good to take some Scotch tape to make sure that there ain't no dust or lint or anything stuck on your image that would show through when you stamp it. So I'm going to clean that all off with my Scotch tape here. Just a little trick to use. And then we're going to ink that up with our Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to bring this down so I can get this centered on my stripes there. And let that marinate into the paper for a moment. Not too bad. And then we're going to bring back our little face here. I'm going to stamp his face. And so let me see the camera. So cute. And then I'm going to bring in my wings. And I'm going to use Full Party to stamp those. And I really want one wing, so we're fine with that. All right, we need to close these up first. And we're going to bring back Baby Boss here. And we're going to do some die cutting. Some plates lined up here. Okay, grab my dies. And I need this one. And large wings. A little frog in my throat. All right, I'm going to line up our die onto our bee body. And I've got some washi tape over here that I've used before that I'm going to reuse. And the wings. And hold that down. Our washi tape. So it doesn't move on me. Our plates. So run that through. So have you all had a good week? Mine's been good. It's kind of odd going live on a Wednesday. It's kind of throwing my days off a little bit here, but that's all right. I did a video on Monday, but it was a pre-recorded one, so it wasn't live. Hope you had a chance to watch it. And I'm going to put these back in the package so I don't lose them. There. Nothing worse than losing your dies. All right, so here's my bee body. And I'm going to, oops, I need to bring that back and cut one more thing. Forgot his antenna. So I just got to scrap a basic black cardstock. And stubborn won't come out of there. Let me persuade it. I've already broken one fingernail this morning, so I'm trying not to break any more. All right, so a little piece of black. Cut out our antenna for our bee. There we go. Slide that in there. It doesn't disappear. Oh, yeah. I agree, Amber. No news yet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach my wings kind of off to the tail side of it. And I'm just going to use some Scotch tape here to hold that down. You could use Terran tape, glue dots, anything. And I've got that bigger than I need it to be. So let me struggle with this a bit. Yeah, trim that down. Might have been better off using my Terran tape, but the Scotch tape works fine. If I can get it off my finger now. And it doesn't want to let go. All right, and then we're going to add our antenna right there. But I'm just going to use a little spot of glue with that. And a little goes a long ways, so you don't want a lot. And let me move that over here. Okay, so there's our bee with the little Scotch tape sticking out there we need to get rid of. All right, so this is going to go onto this area. And so I'm going to bring my, not sure what you call that, the flight plan or something of the bee. And I just want to use the one end of it. So I'm not going to ink up the whole thing. And I'm just going to kind of judge where I want to put it. So maybe right about there. Close that up. And now we can start attaching our layers to our card front. So I'm going to glue this down to my Petunia Pop. And I'm not putting any dimensionals on this, so it'll be easier to mail. Goodness, Trucker. And we're going to center that on the front of our card front. And we'll place our bee. So his tail is connecting with that little area there. And all right, now I think we're going to be doing some fussy cutting here too, but I am going to stamp our sentiment first. And I've got a piece of Petunia Pop, which measures 1/2 inch by 3.5 inches, and a bubble bath that measures I'm looking for it. I didn't put the measurement down there. Things are falling here. Looks like about 7/8 inches by 3 3/4, no, 3.5. So we're going to stamp our sentiment on there. And You're Sweet as Honey. And this one comes from our old stamp set, which is still in the book, in the annual catalog, from the Be My Valentine. So I'm kind of using sentiments from both stamp sets. We're going to be using You're as Sweet as Honey. So, like I said, be sure you like and share the video with your friends and family and invite them to come join us. Like I say, the more the merrier. So I'm going to stamp that onto our bubble bath. And I'm going to fussy cut this one. So I'm just going to go around our letters a little bit. Just leaving a border around the letters. And I want to round that a little bit. Just making sure I'm in the camera view yet. All right. And rid of our trash there. And we're going to put this onto our Petunia Pop. Okay. And also, I used the punch that's in the celebration items, the Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch. We're going to do our edges with that. And I'm going to turn it over so I can see if I'm going in there straight. And snip off each end a little bit. It gives it a ripply edge. Not sure that's a word or not. You can kind of see it. See? I like that. Both ends, both sides. And this is going to go kitty corner over the center of our card front. But first, I need to do some fussy cutting, so I'm going to put that aside for a moment. And I've taken our Designer Series paper, which is this one here. That's the back side. And we're going to fussy cut some of these jars out of there. So let me just cut those apart. And it's pretty well straight lines. So it shouldn't take long to cut those out. So Bear with me. I could have had them done ahead of time, I guess, but I didn't. All right, there's a larger one. And 2 more to go here. I know some people don't like to fussy cut, but I don't mind it too much. As long as it's not real delicate and intricate, then it's okay. Here's our second one. And we're coming up on our third one here. All right. And now we're going to attach these to the bottom of our white mat there. And I'm going to start out with a smaller one. So any plans on how to enjoy this good weather today? All right, so we place 3 of those at the bottom. And now we're going to attach our sentiment across that center at an angle. There. Now let's do the inside of our card. And I've got our basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I've got a strip of that same designer series paper that goes along with the card. And this is 1 inch by 4 inches. It's going to go across the bottom. But I want to stamp our sentiment first. In case I mess it up, I can change it out. So, like I said, that came from our stamp set, which is You Are Remarkable. And I'm using this sentiment right here. This is a really cute set too. It's an online exclusive. It says, friends are flowers in the garden of life. And then sometimes the simplest things mean the most. And the one that we're using on this one says, you are remarkable in every single way. So you might want to consider this one too. It's in the online exclusives in my store. All right, so let's stamp our sentiment using our black Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp that up in the upper left-hand corner. I'll just ink pads, we don't have an accident. And bring back my combo glue, which has disappeared. There it is, it was hiding. And this is going to go across the bottom section of our inside of our card. And I'm going to butt it right up against the bottom edge. So I'm going to turn that over and just push it down. And do I have anything I got to trim off? Maybe just a hair. Now we can put that on the inside of our card, and then we'll come back and finish the front side. I've got to add some bling, some embellishments. Make sure you're not upside down. I just stuck that glue all over my hand. But we're not crafters if we don't have ink and glue all over our hands and fingers. All right, so that's the inside. You are remarkable in every single way. And I need to bring in my sequins, which are also on the celebration. These are called purple adhesive back sequins. And take your pick tool right here. And we're going to use the light pink ones here. So I'm going to use the larger ones. One here in this corner. And maybe one here. We're going to keep those out because we're going to be using them again for another card. All right. And if you wanted to, you could use a little bit of Wink of Stella to bling up the wings a little bit. And maybe some outline around the bee body. So here's our first card. You're as sweet as honey, and you are remarkable in every single way. And this could be used for any occasion. All right, so let's continue. I've got a couple fun folds here. Just debating on which one I want to do next. I do need to bring my Simply Chamois over here and clean my stamps real quick, though. I'll be using them again. You can find the Simply Chamois in my store also. And all you do is just wet it and put it in a stamp case. And then when you need to clean it, you just rinse it out with warm water. And it's ready to go again. So there's no chemicals involved. A very economical way to clean your stamps. And I thought I had another one here. I'm also cleaning this one too while I'm at it. There. All right, so our next one. Throwing my trash on the floor here. I just ran my iRobot a little earlier, so I might have to bring her back out again. And just set these over here out of the way. There. Make some room. So our next one is a fun fold. And this is kind of different. I've got it a little card on the front side. It says love this life. And we're going to be heat embossing. And this is the inside of that card, cute as can be. And then it opens again to the inside of the card and it says we are meant to be. So let's go ahead and get that going. Instructions. All my bits and pieces. All right. So I'll bring my dies back over here and I'll show you what I used. See, we're flying around here. Okay, again, I'm using the same paper, the Cute as Can Be, 12 by 12. And I'm using this pattern, some of this, and this one here, along with our card base, which is going to be Bubble Bath. So let's go ahead and start with our card base, and we'll work ourselves to the smaller area. Okay, like I said, our card base is going to be our Bubble Bath, and that's just our standard size card. It's a 5.5 by 8.5, and then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to burnish that fold line. And then we have our designer series paper, which is 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And that's going to go onto our card front on the large card. So we're going to go ahead and attach that. I don't know how I did that, but I've got 2 fun folds today. Fun fold cards. Just worked out that way. I try to have at least one fun fold card in with our videos, but sometimes I do too, I guess. All right, so there's our card front. And we're going to set that aside. We're going to work on our smaller card. And what I did, I took my Petunia Pop cardstock and I die cut the card out using the larger die that's in with our dies to this set. And when I cut it, I had cardstock was measuring about 4 1/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches wide, and then I folded that in half and got my fold line there. So when you die cut it, you take your folded cardstock and you want to make sure that you've got your upper fold so it's not connecting with it. You want to leave a little space in between there so it doesn't cut that area. So then I ran that through my die cutting machine. Hope I'm explaining this right. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. You can email me or private message me, and I'll try to explain it a little bit better. All right, so there's our card for the front of our main card. And then I die cut basic white with the next size. So this would be number 1. This would be number 2 die. I cut that out of basic white, and it cuts out the inner side and the outer framework. So you've got 2 different layers that you cut. So that was die number 4 or number 2. And this is going to go onto the front of our card. And then I die cut again that same die. I used the designer series paper, this one here. And that's going to be the center. So you cut one with a basic white and then one with the designer series paper. So you've got 2 different layers. Hope I'm explaining this right. It's kind of confusing. All right, we're going to go ahead and attach those. So I'm going to lay down the inner side first. And we're going to center that onto our card front. Matching up our points. And then this one, I'm going to bring my piece of my silicone mat, and I'm going to use my fine tip glue. And I'm just taking our fine tip glue bottle that was empty, and I just added my Tombow glue to it. So, yeah, I'm just going to put a thin line going all around it. And I want to put my cap on there so it doesn't plug up on me. And I've got my reverse tweezers here I'm going to use to pick that up with so I don't get glue all over my fingers. And we're going to add that to the outside of our Designer Series paper layer. Oops, echo. See, it's already sticking to that. And you kind of push it in to match up the edges. All right, so there we have it so far. All right. And now we're going to add another layer, and this comes from the, let's see, this size. Nope, it's the next size. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We're using the number 1, number 2, and number 4 size dies of those. And again, I cut out one layer with the basic white, which gave me the frame, and then another layer of our Designer Series paper, which gave me the innards part of that, the inside layer. So we used die number 1, 2, and die number 4 for our card today. So I'm going to attach this to the inside of this layer. And I need to bring my silicone mat over here again and my fine tip glue. And we'll do the same thing. We use the fine tip glue to put onto our framework. Cap back on there again. One thing with a fine tip glue, you got to make sure you put your cap on right away. You can't let it sit because it will clog up on you. But I haven't had no problems as long as I do that. I'm okay. So let's bring this back over here and we're going to position it. I want to make sure that my points are kind of matching up with each other. So I'll keep you on the straight or narrow. Oops. And now we can put that on the inside. My nose is itching. I don't know if it's pollen or what, but my nose has been itching like crazy. Hope I did this right, yeah. All right, and that's going to go in the center of that little white frame. All right, now we're going to do some fussy cutting. The Designer Series paper, I'm going to fussy cut these out, the bees. So again, we're just going to leave a little edge along the bee. Looks like I got a lot of fussy cutting going on in this video today. But no coloring. That's unusual. All right. These little bees are so cute. I love the expressions on their faces. All right, so there's one. Oh, my nose is itching. It's got to be the pollen or something going on. All right, then we'll cut out this other little guy. My husband's outside enjoying the weather, working in his garage and little odds and ends that he keeps himself busy with. I think he's getting anxious for mowing season to start. We've had so much rain that the ground is way too wet yet. All right, we're just about done with this little feller. All right, so here we have our two bees. And I'm going to wait to attach them because we're going to be doing some heat embossing. A strip of black cardstock. And I have the measurements here for this. This is, no, it is about 5/8 inches wide by 3 1/8 inches long. And we're going to heat emboss that with some white embossing powder. So we're going to stamp it with Love This Life. And this one comes from the Meant to Be right here. So let's bring our tools over here. We've got our embossing buddy, Versamark, our heat tool, and our reverse tweezers. So I'm going to use my embossing buddy first, and I'm going to use that to get rid of any static cling. But let me get another scrap of paper up here. To get your embossing powder with. So, okay, which side is which here? This side. Embossing buddy to get rid of any static cling. And our Versamark ink pad to stamp our sentiment. And Love This Life. Ink that up real good with our embossing pad. Or Versamark ink, I should say. And we're going to stamp that on the center of our black strip here. Close up our Versamark pad. Bring out our white embossing powder. And I'm going to pick this up with my tweezers. Knock off any excess. Put it back into our container. And bring our heat gun over here. That's the magic. So it takes a moment for the heat gun to heat up to the temperature it needs to be. Oh, you've been sneezing, Amber? Yeah, we've been doing plenty of that too. It's coming up on springtime. So, the magic happening. Set a heat gun back over there out of the way. Okay, so this is going to go across the bottom area. I'm going to go ahead and attach that. Losing my glue bottle here. And just across the lower edge. Make sure it's opening right, yeah. Okay, now we're going to take our bees and we're going to attach them right there. And I didn't put those up on dimensionals either. You could, but I figured I've already got enough thickness with the 2 card layers that I didn't want to add any more to it. And it's going to kind of sit on top of the sentiment strip there. And this little girl or guy is going to sit on the other side at kind of an angle. All right. And another celebration item that I'm using is the Fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon, which you can get at a celebration for a couple days here yet. And we're going to add a bow made out of that. So let me put this back together. And I've already done a bow already ahead of time. It's kind of crunched up a little bit. Let me see if I can straighten this out a little bit. It's been stuck in a package here and it's kind of messed it up a little bit. Okay, it's going to go up here at the top corner. I'm going to use a mini glue dot these are ones that I get out of my paper pumpkin kit. And nothing wrong with them. I like using them because they're a little bit smaller than our regular minis are. And on the inside, we're going to use one of those, that larger basic white layer that we cut out of the first die. And that's going to be our inside layer. Whoops. I'm just going to go in here. And let me see what else I put in there. Okay, cute as a bee, or cute as can be, is a sentiment. Sacramento ink. Cute as can be. And I'm going to stamp that at the bottom area. And close that up. And I had another bee to fussy cut here. It's going to go on the inside. And just cut him out really quick here. Guess I could have had some of this done ahead of time, but I didn't. This way you get to see all the steps in making the card. I don't leave you out of the loop here. Get to see all the steps that go into it. And I'm going to round that a little bit more. All right, now this one's going to kind of hang off. That's going to go in that upper corner. I forgot to mute my notifications. I apologize. And just put her right at the top. Uh-oh, I've got a little bit of ink on there, smudge. Did I have ink on my fingers? Yeah, I did. And this is going to go on the inside of our card. Making sure it's going the right direction. We don't want it upside down. And straighten that out a little bit. Scooch it over. All right, I'm going to take my ink eraser and see if I can get some of that black ink off of there. Well, I lightened it anyway. I guess it'll have to do. All right, so this is going to go on the front of our card now. And I'm just using my adhesive of choice. You could use tear and tape or stamp and seal, whichever you prefer. I'm just going to make sure I got enough on here so it doesn't come off, because it will be open and closed a few times. So I'm going to hold that together. Place that on the front of our card, centered. And I've got it over too far. It's one thing about the Tombow glue, you've got time to move things around if you need to. All right, so there's the outside of our card. And our inside layer. I'm going to place that at the bottom. And we're going to stamp it with "We Are Meant to Be." Black Memento ink. And put that upper left side. Close up the ink pan. I'm going to add this 1-inch strip to the bottom, so it's 1 inch by 5 1/4 inches. And it matches our outside paper. Make sure my flowers are going the right direction. Whoopsie. Scooch it down. And that's going to go on the inside of our larger card. Anybody got any good big plans for the weekend? Hard to believe it's almost here again. Time flies. All right, that's going to go on the inside of our larger card. Trying to straighten that up a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to trim off those tails of that ribbon a little bit, shorten them up a little bit. And you can add some bling. What did I do with my sequins? There. I'm using the same sequence. This one I'm going to use the darker pink. And I'm going to use the smaller ones. Oops, I got something on my take your pick tool there. And we're going to place them on the small card. And I do odd numbers. I'm doing 3s. All right, so here's our little fellers, but I'm going to add a little bit of Wink and Stella to this, the wings of these bees also, just to give it a little extra bling. Can never have too much bling. There. All right. Love this life. And it opens, it's as cute as can be. And then the inside of the main card says we are meant to be. So just a cute little fun fold. All right. Move things out of the way here, and we'll bring out our third card. That's over there. I think my stomach's going to start growling at any moment here. All right. So we have another fun fold using the same bundle. Bring my bits and pieces out here. So here's our third card. We are meant to be. And this is a double Z fold, is what it's called. You'll always be the one for me. So you can sit like this. Get my instructions out here. Oops, things are falling down here. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is our thick white. And this measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And we're going to do some scoring on there. So I'm going to bring my paper trimmer over here. And we're going to score our fold lines. And our first one is going to be scored at 2 1/8 inches. So here's a 2 1/8. Make sure you got your cutting blade out of the way. And use the score blade only. It's 2 1/8 inches. And then again at 4 1/4 inch. Score blade. All right, so we're going to set that aside for a moment. We're going to go ahead and do the smaller card. And this one measured 3 3/4 inches by 6.5 inches. And it's scored at 2 1/8 inches and 4 1/4 inches. It's at the same measurements that the larger card is. Put that over here. And now we're going to reinforce our score line. So I'm going to fold the larger one first at the 4 1/4 inch. Bring our bone folder and burnish that score line good. And then this one's going to be folded back. I'm going to open it up so I don't mess up the inside of my card. So this is how we get our Z. And this one, got 2 different layers here. One larger area is going to be the front of the card. And then the shorter side is on the back. So let's go ahead and burnish those score lines. Okay, so got another Z here. All right, So we're going to start with our larger card. We're going to start decorating that. And with mine, I used this as our front panel, but I think I'm going to change it and use the flowered one instead and put this panel on the inside. So I'm going to change it up just a little bit. So we've got our Designer Series paper. These both measure 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then we've got our larger Designer Series paper, which is this pattern. And that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So that's going to be our inside. Whoops. Something isn't right there. Did I cut that wrong? Probably so. Yeah, I did. I cut it at 5 1/2. It needs to be 5 1/4. Bring my guillotine over here and chop this down. So 5 1/4. I think I did that on my sample too. I cut it at 5 1/2 instead. I had to redo it. And make sure my width is right. 4 inches. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Just my length was too long. All right, easy fix. So that's going to go on our inside. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that. So I hope you'll be able to come back Monday and catch my live. It'll be 10:30 Central Time in the morning, not nighttime. I'm sound asleep by that time. And I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing yet, but it'll be something probably new out of either the online exclusives or out of the mini catalog. All right, so there's our inside layer. Now I'm going to attach these two to the other panels, the smaller panels. And I'm going to go with the flowers on my outside panel. This paper is so cute. With all the bees. Gets us in the mood for springtime. Although I don't like the bees, but they've got a purpose, so I don't bother them. They don't bother me. Except for those mean hornets. I don't care for them at all. All right. And I seen a thing on Facebook this morning that said that our hummingbirds here in Arkansas are supposed to be back here March 16th or something. So I'm going to have to bring my feeders all in and get them cleaned up and get them ready to go. I love feeding the hummingbirds. They're so funny, they'll fight with each other. All right, so here's our card so far. It's our Z fold. And now we're going to start working on the inside fold. And I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of push down these score lines here and our cutting lines. I don't want them showing. It just kind of flattens it out, gives it a better look there. All right, I've got 3 basic weights. 1, 2, yeah, 3 that I've cut at 2 inches by 3 1/2 inches, and those are going to be our panels, our mats on all 3 layers here. And then the inside panel is going to have this Designer Series paper, and this measures 1 7/8 inches by 3 3/8 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to our center panel because we're not going to be stamping on that at all. So we'll get that out of the way. And on our basic white layer here, leaving a small border going around it, a small edge. I can go ahead and put that on our center panel. Because we're going to be working on some stamping here next in the other two. So center that. So it'll look like this. Now these other two are going to be stamping on those. So we're not going to attach those quite yet. And we are meant to be, I'm getting ink all over my hand here, and I'm going to transfer that to my papers. I don't want to do that. Simply chamois here and clean off the ink off my fingers and off my stamp here. We'll start clean. Getting all the stamps that I'm going to need here. I think that's good for now. All right. We are meant to be, it's going to be stamped on our front panel. And it looks like it won't fit on there, but I'm going to kind of put it at an angle and it'll all fit on there just fine. We are meant to be. Okay. And I'm going to put, I need to stamp my beads first. So let's do those. I've got some scrap paper here. And our daffodil back over here. And the black, we're going to start out with the, okay, this is supposed to be the small guy, not the bigger guy. I almost goofed. We're doing the small one. And we'll ink up those stripes. Oops. Yeah, I didn't like that impression. Let me turn it over and do it again. Okay, that's better. And now our body with the Daffodil Delight. And we're going to match that up. And this little guy is going to go like this. I'm going to have his face going a different direction than the other one. And so cute. And I need to do some die cutting. Let's do the wings. I need 2 wings. And these are the pool party. Let me close up some of these, make some room. We're using the pool party. And I'm going to do 2 wings. Oops, is that the right? These are the bigger wings. I don't want that one. Wrong image. Here we are, the smaller one. 2 wings, 1 body. Let's bring my dies back over here and my baby boss. Then we're going to need this one to cut out the antenna with the black, basic black. And the small wings and the small body. All right, bring back our cut and emboss machine, and where did I put it? Well, there we go. I don't want to see my desk right now. It is a mess. But creativity is messy, I guess. And we can't keep a clean desk when we're working on something. I can't anyway. All right, so I'm going to position these and we'll die cut them out. It's quiet today, other than a few trucks going by. Guess JoJo's taking her nap. Her dad's outside working. Okay, we'll have to run it through one more time to cut out that other wing. All my bits and pieces over here, don't lose them. And our other wing is right here. Run it through real quick. Let's see here. Second wing. Oh, just knocked something on the floor. And let me put these dies away so I don't use them. Alrighty. And use that silicone mat again. And I'm going to position my wings on the back of him, his body. And I think I'm going to use my stamp and seal to attach those with. So we'll put some stamp and seal on the back of our bee body. Bring our bee over here and position his wings where we want them to be. So get them fairly even. Press down. And then we're going to add our little antenna, our Tombow glue, just a spot of glue. husband barbecued some steaks on the grill yesterday. Oh, they were so good. So we've got, they were big enough that we couldn't eat a whole one. So we've got the other half of it to eat for our lunch today. So looking forward to that. All right. I set that aside for a moment. We're going to color some flowers, or stamp some flowers, I should say, using our Daffodil Delight. I had to stick my finger in it. And let's get our flowers. I've got two different sizes of flowers. I've got the bigger ones that come from the Meant to Be right here. But then I've also got the smaller flowers that come from the Be My Valentine. So it's right here. I'm going to use both of those on our card today. So let me grab the smaller one. And I'm going to stamp it onto our front panel. And one up in this corner, kind of going off the edge a little bit. And maybe another one up here, partial one up in this corner. And another one maybe right there. All right, and then we're going to grab our bee and position him. And I'm going to stamp the little trail that goes behind him. I don't know what that's called. A bee trail. And I don't need the whole thing inked up, so I'm going to go just the one end. And stamp it right about there. And he's going to sit, kind of. I guess it could have been shorter, but that's going to work. All right, so that's our front panel. We can go ahead and stick him down there. He's probably sticky enough already on the back side, but I'm just going to add some glue. Well, no, I put dimensionals on the back of him. Let's do it right here. So, a couple dimensionals on his body. I'm going to pop that up a little bit. Can't do a live without any dimensionals at all. All righty, and I should have put that thing down lower. I guess it would look all right there. Now this can be glued onto our front panel. At first I'm going to attach it to the card. So let me close up these ink pads, get them out of the way for a moment. I have got ink all over my fingers. All right, so move these aside. This is going to go onto our card like this, and we're going to center it. So I'm just going to put glue probably on this one half of this. You could use tear and tape, but I like the liquid glue. It gives me time to move around if I need to. It's less forgiving, or it's more forgiving than what the tear and tape is. All right, and I'm going to kind of hold that up, and I want to make sure it's going to be centered. So I'm going to do a little moving around here. Make sure it's where I want it to be, and then I'll press it down. And put some glue on the back side of that inside layer. And this we're going to put on the whole area there. And we can fold our card up over it. I hear my wind chimes out there. A little breezy, I guess. All right, now we can put this on the front of our card. And I'm going to turn it sideways so I can make sure I'm getting it even. Leaving a little border going around. All right, and we're not done with the front yet, but I'm going to continue with the inside of our card first. And I've got that other basic white, and we're going to stamp the sentiment on the inside, which says, "You'll always be the one for me." And this comes from the Be My Valentine set, stamp set. Bring back our black Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp this down at the bottom edge. And we're going to bring back our Daffodil Delight. We're going to stamp some flowers on the inside. It looks like I did 3. So one in that corner. One there. And another right there. And close that. And I'm missing a stamp pad. I'm going to use our old olive to be the center of our flowers on that layer. And that was done with that little dot. Where did I put it? Well, I had it. There it is. So small it was hiding. And I'm just going to stamp the center of our flowers with the old olive. Now we can attach that to the inside of our inside card. The double Z fold. And it goes onto our third layer there, third panel. All right. Now we're going to add some rhinestones to the center of our flowers on the outside. Give it some bling. These are just our basic jewels with rhinestones. Are you awake, Jojo? You come to say hi? And those are going to be the centers of our flowers. Well, I'm going to break my rule. I usually do odd number 3s, but it's not going to show underneath there. So we're not going to put an odd number. It's going to be 4 instead. I might have did one too many flowers or something. All right. And then for our bow, right here, I'm using the Daffodil Delight satin ribbon. And this is in our mini catalog. And I made a double bow already with that, and it's going to go up here. Oh, I see what I did. All right, let's take one of those off because our ribbon's going to go over the top of that one. So can I put that back in there? Use it for another time. So I do have odd numbers, 3s. Okay, so I'm going to place that over that flower. And again, I'm going to be using the mini glue dots that come with my paper pumpkin. And trying to roll it in a log, kind of. And we'll attach our bow. All right, and again, I'm going to trim down my tails. Okay. Get everything out of my way here. All right, so here's our third and our final card, but this is our second fun fold. So I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to the wings of this bee too. Just a little extra bling. There. And if the camera picks it up or not. Maybe a little bit. So here's our third card. It says, "We are meant to be, and you'll always be the one for me." And you could also write on the back area too if you wanted more room to write. So there's our card. All right, so let's bring all these back over here. See if I can fit them all on the screen. And this one open like this, and again like this. So that's a fun fold. So 2 fun folds and then 1 regular. Okay, so which is your favorite? I know it took a little bit longer today. Not too bad, maybe about 10 minutes over. And so I want to thank you for being here today, and be sure you like and share the video and tell your friends about me. I show at the same time on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time, so either platform you can watch me on. All right, and like I said, I'll be back Monday, March 3rd, which is my granddaughter's birthday too, Hope. So March 3rd, Monday at 10:30 a.m. Central Time, 11:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 Mountain Time, and 8:30 Pacific Time. I know that's early for Pacific Time, but you can watch me and have your coffee in the morning. So until then, y'all have a good rest of the week, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here.